Hi, this is Derek with another movie review for HorrorNerds.com, and today I'm going to be talking about Kill List, the British 2011 crime horror thriller drama written and directed by Ben Wheatley and starring Neil Maskell, Mayanna Buring, Harry Simpson, and Michael Smiley as the principals. And this movie shouldn't be confused with The Kill List that came out a few years before this one, I believe in 2007. This is a movie that basically deals with a couple of guys who, are after, they're hitmen, and they're allowed to take on an assignment where they're supposed to kill 3 people, and they do so, or at least they attempt to do so, I should say. And as the movie's rolling out, we get to see a lot of violence, very similar to movies in the British tradition, because this is a British film. If you are a fan of Irreversible, the French film starring Monica Bellucci, you're going to love this movie because the violence is on par to that level. I mean, it's squirming, it's uncomfortable to watch almost, but absolutely necessary for this kind of film. I mean, if you want to go hard on a film, this is the way to do it. Some of the death scenes in here were unbelievably brutal, and I applaud them for that. I think that saved this movie from being a complete washout. However, as much as this movie rolls out a great idea, there's a lot of questions a la Lost that start to be thrown out there for us to guess and wonder about. The movie takes a massive head dive into what the heck territory. I mean, to the point where you will either be turned way off this film or be really captivated by it. I think it could really go either way, just because the acting is good. I thought the filming was good for the movie. It definitely feels like a big budget type film to me. I mean, some might argue that, but I felt it did. One of the things about this movie is that, as it keeps you guessing and asking questions, this film isn't going to answer all those questions by the end. It will leave you to your own interpretation, which I'm okay with, because I watch a lot of Asian horror films, and one of the biggest staples of an Asian horror film is the question mark at the end when you ask yourself, what did I just watch? But in a way, that kind of adds all the more to the horror in some cases of what you're witnessing on screen, because, real life doesn't always neatly wrap up into a bow with questions being answered. And when it usually, when we see directors try to do that, that's when movies go really wrong. I mean, I don't know if this is a good example, but just think Star Wars, the last 3. I mean, calling the Force a bunch of midi-chlorites, I mean, midi-chlorian, that just ruined, 20 years of my childhood. And I say 20 years because I didn't grow up probably until I was after 20, and I'm still a diehard Star Wars fan, and that was just one of the worst things I'd ever seen in my life. They tried to explain something away as beautiful as the Force. Same kind of deal here. It could work, it could not. It sort of worked for me. I think the reason why this movie worked for me most is because the big twist, which I'm going to give it away just because, if it's as much of it as a twist. I think I can't even really do a review without saying it. But the fact that it turns into an occult film, that that there's something about a group of occult that has tricked our main character into killing all these people, or so it seems. It kind of reminded me a lot of one of my all-time favorite films, Spellbinder, which kind of dealt the same thing. A guy meeting a beautiful girl, saves her from getting, all beat up in a parking garage, and turns out he's just been set up to be, a human sacrifice. I thought that was brilliant. And this movie clearly draws from that. I don't know if they had watched it and intentionally meant that. Maybe they didn't. But if you like Spellbinder, oh my God, you're gonna love this film. So in that sense, I did like it. I thought it was great. I thought, I bought it. I like movies that are about the occult. We don't see too much of that. Ever since the 80s, the whole idea of Satan and the occult, it's been weathered down to crappy possession movies, that deal with The Exorcist, being remade a million times over in a million different ways. We don't really see things like this where, you think, okay, this movie is all about hitman, had a very Sopranos feel, kind of a mob style flick in a British tradition. I think Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels without the humor. But then it delves into a whole different movie, and I didn't mind it. It can work, it couldn't. I'm on the fence about it. I definitely thought it was intriguing. I mean, it kept my attention. I know a lot of people were very upset at the end of the movie, but then again, those people are hard to please. I can be, but not when it comes to anything dealing with the occult. I liked it. I thought it was decent. So, check it out for yourself. See what you think. It's not going to ruin anything by telling you what I just told you. See how it plays out. See if you see the two ideas of hitmen killing people and then this occult stuff, and I won't tell you what happens at the end, the other twist. Let's just say, if it works for you, you'll really dig this film. So, this has been Derek, another movie review for HorrorNerds.com. We'll be talking.